Hey everybody, it's Gary Watson with G Watson Images and Alpha Virtual 360, and I want to do a quick video on how to composite something into a 360 image. So we've done this before with a few things, but this comes from Rob Symington. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Rob. But he's in one of the Facebook groups for 360 virtual tours, and after he shot this, his client wants to add in a fireplace that's lit up. So we are going to do that real quick, and I'll try to make it quick and sweet without rambling on, but essentially this is his image that he's already edited, got rid of the tripod, looks pretty good. I would still go in here and clone out your camera and your tripod and your mirror, which actually I'll do that on the final image before I send it to you, Rob, but I'm not going to do that in the tutorial just to kind of keep it quick, but I sometimes forget that, but it's always tricky in the mirror to remember to move that out. So just a little minor detail, but so we've got his image here, and then I just pulled this from Google of a fireplace that looks similar to it. So first thing we want to do is we want to go to the main image, and we want to convert this to be able to edit in like a 360 or spherical view to get our distortion correct. I have an older version of Photoshop, so I can't do that in here, so I have to kind of manually do it. I've got it set up with some actions to convert it to a spherical image, so I'm not going to show how to do that in this video. I have another video that shows you how to set up your actions that will make your life way easier. So essentially, I just click play, and it will go ahead and convert it to this spherical image where it makes it easier to get rid of the tripod and some other things depending on where you're needing to make those adjustments in the shot. So I do want to move it so this fireplace is at the top though, so I'm just going to go 180 degrees, flip it. That way it's a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. We just need to make sure that we flip that back before we convert it back. So next we want to go to the fireplace here, and we're just going to select our fireplace, and that's probably okay there, and we'll feather it just a little bit, get a little bit more of a natural kind of shadowy look when it is all said and done. Right click, layer be a cut, right click, duplicate it over to the main image, and now we have our fireplace here. First thing I want to do is I want to go over here and I want to change the opacity down so I can see through it, so I can see what I'm lining it up against. And now that I have that done, I'm going to right click and go to free transform, and I'm going to just drag it down and get it close size wise to what we're dealing with here. And now that I get it relatively close, I want to right click it again, zoom in so we can see what we're doing here, and then I want to go to distort, and now I'm just going to drag these corner pieces to approximately where the corner pieces of the fireplace would be in the initial image to get it close. It doesn't have to be perfect, we just want to cover up everything that's in the actual image. Alright, looks pretty close. So now before we do anything else, we need to fix the distortions. You can see it's straight and everything else has this kind of curved look because of the 360. So I'm not going to select check yet. I'm going to right click it again, and I'm going to go to warp, and it's going to allow me to warp different points. So I'm just going to manually kind of tweak it now and get it relatively close to the same lines that we're looking behind there. I want to make sure that we're kind of distorting the sides too, so it still has that fisheye-esque kind of look. I don't know if I'm saying it the right way, but just the distortion, we want to make sure that it's distorted in line with what the correct image, or the original image looks like. So this is just a manual way to do it. You know, you can probably do it a couple other ways, but I found that this is the quickest and easiest for my kind of stuff I'm editing here. So I think that looks pretty close, so we're going to say yep, and doesn't look too bad. Over here might might be off a little bit, but that might not be very visible once we view it. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to go back to opacity. And you can see that the colors, the blacks and the golds are a little bit too vibrant, so they don't really match the main picture yet. So what I want to do is I want to go up here, and I'm going to start with my contrast. Bring that contrast down a little bit, see if that can match it a little bit, and play around with brightness. It's taking away some of the intensity of that fire, but that's okay. I think that looks all right. And then I want to go up here to my levels and tweak it a little bit more. Bring it up bright wise. And I think that might be okay. I might go back in here a little bit more on the contrast. Yeah, there we go. I think that's going to look pretty good. All right, so that is looks pretty good. I think I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to give it a little touch of blurring too, so it doesn't just pop out, because it's still pretty sharp. You know, the image is pretty sharp, but you can still see that it's got a little bit of edge blur. So we're not going to go crazy with it, but just a little bit. See what that looks like. I think that might translate well once we look at it in a 360 shot. So, all right, so that looks okay so far. So now I want to view it and make sure that it looks kind of what I wanted, how I want it in the actual 360 image. So I need to flatten my layers, and remember I need to flip this image back 180, and then now I want to go back in here and we need to use our action to flip it back to the regular panoramic shot. And there we go. So looking at it right here in this view, it looks a little bit distorted, but that's why we always want to look at it in our 360 viewer, because it might that might be okay. As you can see, there's distortion throughout because of the way that the 360 fisheye kind of look is. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this as Fireplace 1. And we got it saved in our folder here. So now I'm going to open up our, I just got my Ricoh Theta 360 viewer. We're going to drag the fireplace in there, image in there, and see what it looks like. And there we go. So it doesn't look too bad. The distortion is off just a little bit, so I think I'm going to go in and tweak that a little bit more before I send you the final image, Rob. But I'll go and fix that, and also get rid of your camera in the mirror. But essentially, that's it. I mean, you know, the majority of people that see that aren't going to zoom in and see that that's not really there. So I think it looks pretty good. Let me know in the comments what you think. See if you think that looks good, or if there's any adjustments that that you think should be made. And make sure you subscribe and like. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.